Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
What up, y'all? How's everybody doing today? Sorry, I'm typing up my YouTube live real quick, y'all. What? Okay, hold on. Network. There we go. Come on. Yeah, whatever. Boom. Let's go. So how's everybody doing tonight? All latest news. I did a draft yesterday for fantasy football. That's why I wasn't live last night. Actually, too, at that time, my live was cut off. Were you guys there for my last live? I was killing it. So mad when that got cut off, y'all. So mad. I was at 200 people. Oh yeah, of course, heard about the Grays for sure. Oh, so while I was checking out, have you guys seen, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, the Canals. Have you guys seen that video, most of you guys? Yeah, I know, right? I love Google Earth. Yeah, I know. I was killing that live, bro. I had made like $30 in 30 minutes on just GIFs. Now, I'm not sure at the time if it was what I was talking about per se, or if it was from the troll that was in my live. Because there was somebody trolling in there pretty good. What up, fam? How you doing, YouTubers? Good to see you guys. So, yeah. There was somebody trolling me in that live, too. So I don't know if it was him or not. But from now on, I'm just going to, like, block them instantly. I ain't even going to waste my time. I'm not going to give them a chance. If I see any crap, I'm just blocking people. Because I'm not going to sit here and let people ruin my lives. To be honest, it's really too bad that, and I love TikTok, and I'm not complaining about TikTok. Because they have the best live platform on the planet right now, by far. But the fact that they give trollers so much power in getting somebody banned and or deleted is really shitty. I appreciate it. On the last live, they kept saying, what are you, what are you on or some shit, and I was just like, look at that, 101. I love it, guys. I love it. Cool. And also, guys, those of you that gift, I always go through and follow. And I'll even watch your content. So if you gift me, I'll follow you. You'll show up on my following page, and I watch that quite often just to check out my people. Go through and like your videos and all that. It's going good. It's going good. Hey, I appreciate that, Craig Brown. Appreciate that. Nice. You live near Mount Shasta. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, of course. My YouTube, so I have my TikTok videos on there. Thanks for the gift. I love it. And guys, don't forget to hit this like page. Don't forget to tap your screen. Hit the likes. Get my live out there. So I do put all my videos from TikTok on YouTube. But there are a small handful. I'm not going to pretend I have a bunch of videos that are really long, but there's a small handful of videos that are plus 5 minutes, to 10. Some of them I have even longer, but I do share every one of my lives on YouTube. So I always have lives on YouTube fully. Hey, thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. I love that, guys. So I do have all my lives on YouTube, and you can check them out. But no, this picture behind me, right? The Mariana Trench video or document? I'm not sure. No CIA yet. Well, here's the deal, and I saw that, guys. I saw the cable claim. And I looked around, and yes, I see a bunch of anomalies that are probably potentially cables. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for filling up my like meter. That's the first one I've had in a long time. So thanks for that. I did see that potentially there was a bunch that looked like they were cables. Yes, but if you really look close, and if you take, thank you. Thanks for the fire, guys. Appreciate it. Love it. So if you take and you use the measuring tool on Google Earth, right? I urge you guys to do this, and you got to get close to the ocean floor and you got to scour it. But you'll find these things, and you'll notice that this just doesn't make sense for it to be just cables. For one, the width. Measure the width. And me and my buddy, I have a buddy who's also a heavy Google Earther. He loves Google Earth, and we talk about stuff and shoot ideas off each other and all that. We were actually talking about these, what we thought were roads, prior to, right after he left. I just kept thinking about it, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, because of the Mars research I've done. They're canals. So I looked into it and I measured them. First thing, there's no cable out there. I don't care. You wouldn't even be able to carry it. That's 4 miles wide. 3.5 to 4 miles wide. Measure them. From the geographical start in the anomaly to the finish of it, because you can see it based on the ocean floor. They're 3.5 to 4 miles wide. So, to me, that's not only a canal, that's one built by a giant or a higher being, such as that, something along those lines. So I went and I did more research. So thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you. Appreciate those a lot, you guys. I really do. Yeah, money's tight right now, so anything helps. It really makes a big difference in my life. So, I went ahead and looked and did some research. And as I said, guys, I always follow my people that gift. I'll go back through it, and they show the gifters at the end of my live, and I click follow on every one of you. So I went and did some research, because I remember reading when I was doing some information on, I forget. Oh, the floods. I was curious about the flood. The Great Flood. That's been documented. It happened. The Great Flood and when it happened. And as I was reading it, I noticed some scripture. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that I'm religious. Not saying any of that. I'm not trying to preach or push any agenda that way right now. But I did go ahead and I'm going to check my email right now because I emailed it to myself. I emailed these two scriptures from the Bible. Okay? And this is crazy to me. I actually just found these prior to this live. Come on. All right, so right here. Right here. The internet can never be fast enough, can it? I need fiber optic, y'all. Mike Shane, thank you so much for the gift, guys. Thanks for the roses, guys. It's not well documented. Did I say it's been well documented? Did I say well documented? It has been documented. Not just biblically, but scientifically as well. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate those gifts, bro, for real. Okay, so I looked a website up. 16 Bible verses that say the water dried up. Okay? So, right here. So, those of you that know and watch my lives a lot know that I look for idols too. Massive anomalies. Thanks, Neat. Massive anomalies all over the earth. Idols or megaliths, right? I like to look for them. You know, people. Thanks, 2K. Some people think I'm full of crap, and others look for them too. So it's whatever you want to, whatever you want to do. This is from Jeremiah 50:38. A drought on her waters, and they will be dried up, for it is a land of idols, and they are mad or fearsome idols. Thank you for the ball, dude. Yeah, thank you for the disco ball. Let's go. So that's not only one there where the Bible talks about a massive drought, dryness. Okay? Isaiah 44:27. It is I who says the depth of the sea be dried up, and I will make your rivers dry. So, there's just a couple. Where was it? There was another one I liked too that was really, really good. But along those lines, if you Google it and you want to look for yourself, there are many, many verses where the Lord talks about where He's going to dry the earth, Thank you, bro. Hey, I ain't got that yet. TikTok moneymaker. Let's go. So. And it's funny because the idols that he's talking about, the idols, right? In the one I just read. The idols I find are always mad looking. They always look mean. I don't know what I have on my shirt there, but I think it's deodorant or something. I don't know. Probably stained. So the idols always look mean. They look like they're yelling. They look like they're screaming. They look angry, right? So I'm thinking what it is at one point, there was a really, really super advanced race on Earth, okay? But they weren't necessarily inherently good, okay? They were maybe not slightly evil, but they were just not good, not inherently good, not law of one, not law, love, and light. They built these canals, right? Or not they built them, but they lived on Earth. Then what happened? So has anybody read about the anomaly under Antarctica? The caves. There's not a cave, but a concave crater. The crater under Antarctica. There's a crater under Antarctica that's 300 miles wide. Okay? And they found it using geodesic satellite radar, which is basically picking up gravitational anomalies. Based on the way the land works, or the land, or land geological structures, alright, I had to change my shirt, I couldn't stand it. So based on geological structures, okay? Based on geological structures throughout Earth, from the mountains to pretty much anything, craters, subterranean pockets. I'm glad you guys are still with me. Sorry I had to change it. Geological structures, etc. It picks up gravitational pull, and it changes between maybe, I don't know, a lot of things I imagine affect gravity, okay? I'm not super scientific on that tip. I'm not a NASA scientist, but I know when there's a mountain and there's a cavern in it, it affects the gravity of it. When there is craters on the Earth's surface, it affects gravity. So, in Antarctica, in 2001 or 2, it was a long time ago, NASA was using this new up-to-date method of satellite radar. And they found a 300-mile wide anomaly under Antarctica. Now, there's theories. Some people say it's the entrance to Hollow Earth. Could it be? I don't know. Who am I to say? I haven't swam down there yet. It could be. Others say that it could. So there was an entrance to Hollow Earth, volcano. There's all kinds of different theories on it, guys. But the main theory, or the main, mostly widely accepted by scientists, is it's a crater from an asteroid. Now, to put it in perspective, the Chicxulub crater is the crater that is said to have killed the dinosaur, from the asteroid that is said to have killed the dinosaurs. So this meteor is said to be 6 miles wide. Okay? 6 miles wide. The crater itself is, God, I want to say around 100 miles wide. Somebody'd have to fact check me on that. But it's wide, okay? This crater's 300, so you're talking 3 times the width of the Chicxulub crater. Now, they figure that the asteroid that hit there had to have been upwards of 30 miles wide, you guys. So you're talking all out catastrophe, all out wiping of the earth, okay? This thing is going to obliterate everything on Earth for the most part. They figure that 96 to 98% of sea life was killed after this crater, or this asteroid hit Earth. It'd be like 10,000 nuclear bombs going off, okay? It hit Earth so hard that they figure that is why our North and South Pole are slightly off axis. It hit so hard that they figured this asteroid actually put Earth off its axis, you guys. So this is a colossal impact, right? I think there was a lot of beings living on the planet at this time. This could have been the civilization that created the pyramids, or a vast amount of them. This civilization would have had probably giants, okay, and all kinds of, a number of different species. So it's pretty crazy to think about, but it also could have, and it most likely did, guys. It dried up the Earth's oceans. It dried up the Earth's oceans. I'm telling you. So it would hit, and like I said, 10,000 nukes. Not only would it just disintegrate all in its path, it would dry up the oceans probably to the ocean floor, okay? And think about it. At this time, I'm not saying the oceans were as deep as they are now. I believe that the flood made our oceans much, much deeper. So if you go on Google Earth and you take a look, dirty ass hat. Sorry about that, guys. I need to clean my hats. If you go on Google Earth, you can look on Google Earth and see where there's actually light blue landmass, right? So you got the landmass, and then off that landmass you have a light blue landmass. This was once our land as well, but now it's underwater, okay? I have a theory, and all the continents were connected at this time. You could by foot travel all the way from like Australia, all the way to the tip of West Alaska, if you want, to China, to Russia, to China, etc. you could travel the entire Earth by land. So they lived this way for many, many thousand years. Some people obviously made it. If they were technologically advanced enough, they would see this asteroid coming for probably many days. So they would have time to prepare. They could go to space, hop in orbit, wait it out, play the 100 game. For those of you that have seen that, great show. And wait it out till the nuclear winter was over. And that's what happened as well. So it would totally destroy Earth. Okay? Then a nuclear winter would take place. And this would also create nuclear rain. It would also create like acid rain. Okay? So this acid rain would happen. And then nuclear winter would take place and freeze it. And there you go. That's the caps. That's the polar ice caps. Okay? So you'd have massive amounts of ice at each polar cap. So the main problem, water. It's all gone. The only water they have, probably a few lakes maybe for drinking, but that would be very, very insubstantial amount. It wouldn't survive. They wouldn't make it on just that little bit of water. So what they had to do, and you can see it in my pictures, you guys, they had to build massive canals to each pole. And they had to literally distribute water, fresh water, because all glaciers are fresh water. All glaciers are fresh water. If you guys didn't know that, all icebergs are fresh water. Okay? Salt water essentially doesn't freeze. So they would somehow, I imagine they'd always be melting, but they probably sped it up, the process of it somehow. But these glaciers or these ice caps would be so thick, they'd have enough water to sustain the entire world for centuries, I'd imagine, thousands of years even, millennia. But imagine the labor involved. Imagine the amount of work, you guys, like 3 miles wide. My buddy claimed he found one that was 21 miles wide. Now, I haven't found that one yet. But my buddy claimed he found one that was 21 miles wide. A canal. Okay? And why I know they aren't roadways, I explained it in my video. They aren't roadways because roadways would take straight shots unless they were going around anomalies. But these ones weren't. These ones were cutting off. And they were always perfectly square, guys. And they're in their angles. They're perfect every time. If they're taking a left, they're 90 in it. Some of them 45. It was either a 90 or 45. Or you'd be out here in the 125 range, 140 range. Okay? And they're always perfect. The angle, you could put a protractor up to them. And they are dead on. So whoever's doing this knows geometry. And think about this as well. Those canals would have to maintain a perfect grade to not end up so freaking deep by the time they got to their final point. I mean, you're talking millimeters to centimeters of fall, you guys. Water will travel and fall, because I laid pipe for construction, at a perfectly level, in a perfectly level pipe, water will fall. But if it grades back, it will not fall. So a lot of times we'd run pipe and it'd be perfectly level. Thank you, Kenny Joe. And we'd be fine. But I'm imagining these guys are definitely going to be just a little fall. Most likely millimeters, guys. I'm not even kidding you. Millimeters to a mile. Probably centimeters to a mile. And they'd have this thing falling. Because there's thousands and thousands of miles of this pipe. Or this canal. These canals. Thousands of miles. If you want to go look. Zoom in on them. Find one. They're very faint. Because most likely they are covered up by sediment and other anomalies. They're going to be covered up. But the ones that are so big, they aren't. The ones that are 3 miles wide, you're going to have spots where they just peek out of the water or the surface of the ocean floor. So now, obviously, I can't verify it. Obviously, I can't, hop down there and take a look for myself, but it just makes so much sense, especially, like I said, after the Mars research, which I'm kind of afraid to touch on because I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get in trouble. But, this is all for entertainment purposes only. It's my theories, a lot of them, and I'm sure they've already been presented. I'm not saying I'm the first. I may be the first to bring it to the public or hear anything like that, but you guys can choose whether or not you want to believe them. I'm not telling you have to, okay? I just like to present them and see what I get back, what kind of feedback I get. The feedback for the Canals idea was pretty solid, but a lot of people were, no way, you're crazy again, but that's okay. I'm used to that. I like it. But at the end of the day, if we aren't constantly trying to, come up with things, you know what I mean? If we aren't constantly trying to innovate or think or move forward or trying to discover things, what is it about? So that's why I'm on Google Earth all the time. I found this, I've been watching these lines for months now, and dude, if you go look in the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean enough, yes, you can see all kinds of these so-called cables. They're sporadic. I mean, they're everywhere, crossing this way, that way, this way, that way. I mean, they're not uniform. That's how you can usually tell that they're cables. They're sporadic and there's thousands of them, and they are the same size. But I urge you to find me one that's 3 miles wide. Please show me a cable that is 3 miles wide, and I'll give you my TikTok account. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't exist. You'd never even be able to transport them. It just would not happen. So that was the argument that nobody could refute on my comment section as well. There's no cables out there that big. So I guess I'm going to go to Mars. But before, I guess I wanted to show you this picture I found. I don't know. Tell me if I'm crazy, all right? I was going through and I was following one of these canals. And I stumbled upon this, and it's right behind me. It's very unique looking, okay? I just wanted to get opinions on it. Because I think it looks very peculiar, and I think it could be something, okay? Now look close and tell me what you think it is. Because I have a pretty good idea, but I'm not sure. Notice the wing. Notice the point. Notice here. There's your window. There's your tail. I don't know about you guys, but it looks like a spaceship to me. I could be wrong. But, man, that looks like a flyer. I think it's a spaceship. If you all want to go check it out, check it out. It's you see my latitude, longitude right here. But I think it looks like it could be the top of a flying anomaly. Follow it here. Up. Here's the rest of it. And there you go. Could be flow ridges. I'm just saying. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just like to take wild guesses. It looks like a spaceship. It looks like something from another time. Kind of like the Baltic Sea anomaly. But it looks like a black stealth ship. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. It looks like a black stealth ship. Absolutely. Was this okay? So somebody just said the giant body. Was this? Somebody told me. Okay, so I seen a lot of comments on my video, and I couldn't find which picture you're talking about. About a lot of people were saying that there was a what they thought was a giant. Looked like a giant. Yeah, dude, we've already covered this, Casey James. They're not cables 3 miles wide. Somebody said it looked like a giant. I don't know. Somebody said that in my... You think I'm reaching? You think I'm reaching on that spaceship? All right, I'll give it to you. That's fine. That's fine. You think I'm reaching with the cables, though? Is that what you're thinking? Because I think you're wrong if that's the case. I'll say I'm reaching on that one. That's fine. I just thought I'd ask. But I wanted to show you guys the pipes, okay? These are off the islands near Portugal, okay? I found these when I was looking at the pyramid. Those are pipes, man. I don't give a crap what anybody says. Those are pipes. And see that sprocket? That's like a sprocket from a bike. So when I saw all of these, see, I don't have a good enough PC. Yeah, that's what they tell everybody, Brad. But that's not the truth. It's not true, bro. They're using the same radar as what they use to find the crater under Antarctica. It's geodesic radar. It's not all fake pictures. That just makes no sense. I've seen that argument so much. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they just make pictures up? For one, the Azores Pyramid, which is why I even started looking at Google Earth, is located on Google Earth. And they confirmed it. Like, officials confirmed that there was a pyramid. I think I have a picture of it. The pyramid that guy found with his fishing radar. Yeah, right here. Is right. Where are we at? Right here. See that little anomaly right there? There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. That one right there. That's your pyramid that they found underwater in it was like 2012 or something, right around there. But a guy that was sailing on his yacht fishing picked it up via radar. And so why if it's all fake, if all of Google Earth is fake, why would the officials actually point that out and say that is in fact the pyramid right there on Google Earth? I promise you, they are degraded. That's what they are, absolutely. So see how this is all really clear right here? And this is all really faded? That's blurred out. It's degradation of image, absolutely. I'm not a flat earther. I'm not. I don't know. I can't say yes or no. And I hear what you guys are saying. That face. Yeah, I've noticed that a long time ago, yup. I just didn't point it out in my video. But yes, face, 3 pyramids. Boom, boom. Yup. I gotta be careful though, because I don't want to get my live banned. I can't really be pointing this stuff out. You gotta be able to find it for yourself, guys. Find it for yourself. Send me the pictures to my email. I'd love to check it out. Anything you guys find, because I can't see it all. But yes, it looks like a man with a large beard, and it is some sort of idol. It's some sort of megalith. But what freaked me out though was these pipes, all these pipes. And look, this honestly right here, that looks like the bottom of rocket thrusters to me. But I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it looks like it. And then there's 3 more pyramids up here. So yep. I look at that stuff all day, y'all. All day. Yep, face and long beard. So that's what people were saying on my video. I can't believe people spotted that. Good job. Good job. I appreciate the backing, because I get a lot of flack for what I post. Let me see here. I want to find something here to show you guys as well that I spotted. So here's some more of the canals. See how it does a perfect 90? Pew. And a perfect 45. Pew. Back up. Well, over here, see, well, you can see the little, like, I don't know, I want to call it something, but yeah, it's like a little button right there, and right there, and right there, and right there. Yeah, those are pyramids, just so you know. Okay, moving on. That's the original one I did. Oh, I found some pretty crazy stuff, you guys. Okay, right here. This is one I want to show you guys. So I was up and I was looking at the North Pole. I was looking for a spot where they would get the water from, okay? And in looking for that, I spotted an anomaly of sorts. Just want to get a good picture of it so I don't look silly. Hold on here. I spotted an anomaly of sorts. That is here. Okay. So, you see the ridge line right here? But look right here. Do you see this? That's a hand. There's a little face at the end of this. Okay, that's that. Far away, it looks a lot better. But I saw this. Do you see it? It's a serpent. It's a serpent. Okay? That's a serpent. But check this out. So this right here was also, yes, that's a hand. That's a paw. Okay? And this has obviously been weathered over time. It's not perfect anymore. It's weathered. Okay? At one time it was. But this, and see how they did the degradation? I shouldn't be pointing this out. I'm probably going to get in trouble. Right there. This pass is blurry, not blurry. Okay? Boom. And then, right at the end of that, so here's the serpent again. Full size. Right here, see his hand? And then all the way up. Boom, boom, boom. Then I was like, well, shit, that's weird. Look at those anomalies. What are those? They look uniform, almost like man-made. Right? Boom. See the croc? Crocodile. Bird of some sort. Bird of some sort. And I can't make these ones out. But that's a obvious crocodile. Tell me that's not a crocodile. What people don't understand, you guys, this stuff right here, on the scale of Google Earth, that thing right there, 4 to 5 miles long, over a mile tall. Oh yeah. You can't see the croc's teeth, his button nose, his eyes, jaw. Just saying. I mean, I can show you better ones, but I'm not going to go and do that. Okay. You guys, so one thing about Google Earth, you guys, you can't look like at a point on Google Earth. You got to back up. And you got to look at the whole picture. This right here is like north, right west of, I think it's east or west of Greenland. So you have that, and then, yeah. I could really freak you guys out, but I don't want to. Just to prove all the people wrong that are hating. Yeah, I think it could be a sea monster or a dragon or something of them sorts. I truly believe, I'm not saying it's aliens. I'm not saying it's giants. It could have just been a civilization that was very, very good at making massive, massive megalithic idols and stuff. Either way, it's so, I mean, either if it's a skull or whatever it is, it looks to me like a man-made stuff. He says, do it. Please freak us out. Oh, shit. I don't know, man. Show me the money. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get banned. I can't afford it. I love this account. I love this account so much. I don't want to lose it. Only if something happens, you all have to message TikTok and say unban Night God 333, okay? That's the deal. You all have to message them. You all have to message them. Otherwise, yeah. I wish it was more like unedited and uncensored. I just wish it was a free for all. All right. So this is located off an island near Antarctica. And then there's more, but these ones have faded. That's a megalith off an island near Antarctica. It's an obvious face. It looks like a pharaoh of some sort, maybe. So, to put it in perspective, you guys, this megalith right here, it looks small, but it is all of it. It's as big as all of Mount Rushmore put together, if not bigger. Much bigger, in fact. It might be 3 or 4 Mount Rushmores. This is off the coast. This is off of Antarctica on an island. Whatever society did it was just, they loved to create megaliths and idols. So, yeah, they were good at it too. Whatever they were doing, this is not by hand, you guys. This is not by hand. What do you mean? Want a free-for-all until a free-for-all. That makes no sense. Yeah, this right here is off of island. Like, I can't exactly remember exactly what island. But, yeah, that's not pareidolia. That's not me making it up. But you can also see there's a face right here. There's a face up here. There's faces all up in here. There's something right there. That's one of the clearest ones I've ever seen. These are massive, you guys. Some of them maybe hundreds of miles. I don't know. He said I was about to beat my wife, and then I was, what are you talking? Not like that. Like on TikTok, he's going to beat his wife on TikTok, getting followers. And then he watched my videos. He said, that's cool. I'm glad you like them, man. God, it was driving me nuts on that sea monster. Well, then who took the picture? But I guess that's the only reason the video went viral. So it worked out anyway. Got more coming. Hold up. I can do this all day. On the same island in Antarctica. That looks like an Indian, or a Native American. That is also possibly 20 to 30 miles wide, long. Carved right into the land, the face of the land, you guys. Carved right into the face of the land. They must be using a machine. But, yeah, you got to back up. And, or I know this is a good trick too, was put your phone up and then back up from your phone and look at it from a distance. Thanks, Josh. And guys, also, like I said earlier, any gifts, I will follow your account. And I'll even check out some of your videos. So please, any gifts at all, I'll follow your account, check out your videos. I'd be glad to check you guys out. I follow everybody who gifts me. So he said peace. Yeah, so I'll do one more and then we're going to go to stories. Okay, guys? One more, and then we're going to go to my content. I just posted one, actually. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it. Hollow Earths on multiple planets. I have a theory that hollow Earths exist on multiple planets. Okay, hold up here. This one's a little harder to see, you guys. Okay? It's a little blurry. I'll start with that one. This is a little blurry. But you can see that it's got the jaw. This is a different species. See the ear? And it's actually cut out like it's got jagged edges. Mouth. I believe it's a reptilian representation of a draconian, but I'm not sure. Not a sure, 100% sure. Yeah, I'm going to do the part 2 of that. Okay, so, hey, thank you for the gifts, bro. Appreciate it. And I'll do one more real quick. That one's a little harder to see, but this one's crazy right here. This one freaked me out a little the first time I saw it. It's still hard to see because it's definitely degraded of imaging. Hold up here, and boom. It reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See him yelling? Mouth, tuft of hair, eyes, nostrils. And also, notice the skin, scaled. Scaled. I have all kinds of them. All kinds of them. I have images for days. But this is another one. Notice the tuft of hair. That was what crazed me out on that. Alright. It looks like Grub from Gears of War. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. It sure does. Okay, so I'll go to my Hollow Earth. This was found on Mars. Alright? I don't even know how I stumbled upon this picture, but I started talking about hollow Earths on other planets, okay? I Googled it. Could the other planets be hollow? And the only reason I ever thought of that was because I did the story on the Venetian, the one named Valiant Thor. He came to Earth in the 50s, okay, during Eisenhower's run in office. He came to Earth and landed in a field in Virginia. This is his story. It's pretty cool. He came to Earth, he landed in a field in Virginia. Now, this is subject to scrutiny. It may or may not be true. I just present the story. You decide whether you believe it or not. So, the authorities go out there immediately. And they talk to this guy. He gets off his ship, and he's wearing a really cool suit, a really colorful suit. And they're like, holy crap, where are you from? And he told them, and he said, I want to see President Eisenhower. So they go to the Pentagon, they hop in this elevator, and he's being escorted by multiple officials and agents. They escort it, they drop him down to these tunnels under the Pentagon. Literally, tunnels under the Pentagon. And they walk these tunnels, walk them. They hop on a train. There's a train, an underground subway under the Pentagon. Okay? They hop on this train, and it shoots over to Washington, to the nation's, the White House, the nation's capital. Okay? And that is where Eisenhower is. So they're having a chat, this and that, and he asks where they're from. Now, mind you, they say that Tesla was possibly from Venus. He was Venetian. It's said Tesla could be Venetian. Okay? So they start to talking. He tells them where they're from. He had 2 other people with him, 2 helpers. Valiant Thor was the main captain of the excursion. He said, I'm from Venus. Well, they said, no way. the surface of Venus is 800 degrees, and it's supposedly constantly storming. And he said, I don't live on the surface. I live in hollow Venus. And just a light bulb went off like, ping. Really? Hollow Earth. Hollow Venus. Hollow Mars? Hollow Jupiter? Hollow Neptune? So I started looking it up. And sure enough, guys, all the poles, they all have a north and south pole that is magnetized, okay? And most of them also have northern lights like we do. Aurora Borealis, all right? And they say that Aurora Borealis is due to catching solar winds, right? Well, if that's the case, then wouldn't Aurora Borealis be happening over the entirety of the planet? Not just the north and south poles? That kind of struck me like, wouldn't the solar winds not only hit the north and south poles, but also hit the face of the planet? And if so, then why isn't there northern lights throughout the whole world? There's not. It's only usually in the north and the south. So I got to thinking, well, what's going on in the inner Earth that is spectacular, fantastic, or alien, extraterrestrial is probably the main thing. Extraterrestrial, you guys. So I started looking. Thank you so much, Fast. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you on those. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me. So, I got to looking, and the first planet I wanted to check out was Mars. Yeah, could you imagine if everybody in my life just gave me $1? Just $1. Man, I'd be happy as hell with that. But I'm not begging. But anyway, so I was looking at Mars, and they have a north and south pole as well. And so I typed in Mars's south pole, and boom, this came up. This is supposedly from NASA, and it's on the internet. It was on DuckDuckGo anyway, and it's been hidden from the public. But they basically found this hatch. See the top? Boom! And it shuts. And this hatch goes to a subterranean pocket on Mars. Okay? So, could this be the entrance on Mars to Hollow Earth? Very well could be. Thank you so much, Armor. I appreciate that, bro. Okay, so I'm looking, I wanted to show you guys this too. This is also a picture of Mars. This is the North Pole. Boom. Right here. Nope. Hold on. Another one. Redo. It's right there. So you guys see the little hole right there? Just a little one. It looks little. Thank you so much, Hector. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you guys. Jay Neat. Yeah, let's get that trend going, y'all. Michelle, you rock. Thank you for the roses, you guys. Thank you for the roses. It means a lot to me, seriously. Love it. Loving it. And guys, don't forget to tap that like screen for me. I see they're consistently coming through, so I really appreciate those who are doing it. I really do. It really is a very, very important. Thank you so much. So, that little hole right there, it is said, let's see who can put up the record. Michelle's at 51. Has anybody beat her yet? Cloudbread. Cloudbread, that's awesome. They come up with some awesome gifts. I think the record in my last live, some dude gave me like 155 roses or something. I was like, holy crap, that's insane. I'm not exactly sure which one's valued at more. I don't know. But so they say that the Antarctica inner Earth entrance is only 13 miles wide. So I imagine from space, that's probably about what 13 miles might look like. It could be more. But this is just a guess, guys. I'm not saying this is for sure. Thank you, Kenny Joe. Thank you. So you have that for the North Pole of Mars. Rock on. And I'm going to continue. So I went from Mars to Jupiter, right? And I just typed in the North and South Pole at Jupiter. And this is from 2016, you guys. Boom. That was happening in Mars, or on Jupiter, excuse me, in 2016. They're calling it a solar storm. But oddly enough, it's only happening at the North Pole. So, if it's Aurora Borealis, like they say, then why isn't it? Thank you, Mickey. Mickey, sorry, I called you Mike last time. Mickey, I appreciate the Wonder Bread. So, Hector, Rose, love it. These lights right here, they say Aurora Borealis. Jay Neat in the house. And I am going to respectfully disagree. I don't think that's what they are. They say this was 10 times as bright as the sun at the time. Now, I don't know if it's still happening or not. Thank you, Jay Neat. I don't know if it's still happening or not necessarily, you guys. But either way, it happened, right? And it happened at the North Pole on Jupiter. So, I don't know if you knew this about Antarctica. But as of at least last year or two, I think it was early 2020, these little molecules started emitting from under the ice, called neurotites. They're nuclear. Basically little nuclear atoms. They're very, very small. But they started emitting from under the ice. 332, damn, I don't think anybody's beat that. He's killing it. Killing it. Let's go. I appreciate it. If you guys are wondering why I don't do any music in the background anymore, it's because I get hit with copyright every time I post them to YouTube, and I can't. I'm this close, guys. This close to becoming part of the YouTube Partner Program. So any of you guys that would subscribe to my YouTube would be immensely appreciated, guys. Immensely appreciated. I'm really close to becoming part of the YouTube Partner Program. And as far as TikTok goes, I'm really close to hopefully getting the ability to attach gifting to my videos, which would be an amazing thing. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Instagram, I'm doing well too. Add me. I'm at NightGod333. Anything you want to search me on, at NightGod333 will bring my page up, just so you know. Okay? So, the sun's in Middle Earth, right? The sun's in inner Earth. They say there's a sun that sits in inner Earth, okay? In ancient lore, they called it the sphere of Amenti. It was a sort of energetic anomaly that contained mana, among other things, okay? So, the northern lights are beautifully colored. They're illuminate. They illuminate, and they just look amazing. They look like an energy force, right? Tell me something is not inside that planet emitting that. I can't say for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say it's just a guarantee, but man, it's hard to think that it isn't possible. So, how are these Middle Earths being created? How are these inner Earths coming about? I thought about that today, and I thought, man, I just don't see the Earth forming with a massive hollow core. It just doesn't make sense. If you look up the process by which the Earth was created, if it does draw in other planets and become this molten rock and all this stuff, how could it possibly be hollow? It just doesn't seem to add up, unless the initial core was ice and it melted, maybe. I don't know. It's just, I have a hard time with that. I believe that the higher beings are creating these. I believe that the higher beings are coring out these planets, possibly, and making a space to live in there. They've created so the Chinese and the United States have both recently created a nuclear-powered electromagnetic artificial sun, right? So if they've done that, then who's to say that higher beings couldn't? I don't know. I'm just spitballing out here. I'm not saying it's for sure. Yeah, you like the ice theory? That makes sense. I can dig it. The planets are like plasma. Okay. I heard that they use plasma drills to core in uncoreable objects. What's not true, White Buffalo? You've cyclically seen it. Cool. You know, it's funny you say that. I've heard about remote viewers looking at Mars and stuff like that. Yeah, I do. I think that. Yeah, I went hard. I went hard last night. I had fun, dude. At our fantasy drafts. Unified physics. Okay. So are you saying, Astro, that? Are you saying that it's possible that they created themselves and created a core with it, or a hollow core as well? The planets. I mean, I'm saying the planets did create themselves, yes, but yeah. Thank you, 420. I appreciate that. It is nice, guys. I'm glad my lives are gaining steam. Now, if I could just stay on the right path, I'm really trying very hard not to cross the lines and tempt TikTok, okay? I'm actually hopefully going to be, I'm looking into getting verified. I know that would help a lot. Okay, all right. I can dig it, Astral Angel. I can dig it. I'll run with that. So they could create themselves with a hollow core. All right. I like it. I still won't say that higher beings could have not done it. Maybe they shaped it or helped do it. But I do believe hollow beings live, or higher beings live in hollow earth, yes. I do believe that there are higher beings living in the core of our earth for sure. Oh, it's in the fourth and fifth dimensions, though. I like it, Luna. Yes, I do. It's that Night God 333 or Night God. Yep, and I'm going to start doing longer videos on that platform, guys. So you think something you don't think they so you don't think they formed with a hollow core. You think it had to have been done by something. Yeah, I do. I've been trying to really do that. The being be beautiful. That's an interesting question. I'm going to say that some of them are and some aren't. I think that some of them are absolutely gorgeous, yes. I do believe they do, little James there. I think that our whole universe, yes, there's many universes. Harmonic universes, they call them. So you think it's the elongated skull people. I can dig that. I like that. I've actually thought that for a long time, that it was the elongated skull people that inhabited Hollow Earth. Oh, absolutely. The Hollow Earthers are the ones that created these mega idols that I was showing you guys earlier. So, if it was cored out, where did the materials go? I like that question. And they are completely incinerated, I believe. Thank you. Thank you, Angry Dad. I appreciate that. Yes, I found all kinds of them, you guys. The structures built by the giants, they're all over the earth. All over. I absolutely have seen so many of them. And you guys, when they say these structures are huge, we don't even begin to understand huge. Thank you, Titaness. Always with it. Always with me, my girl. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, these structures are so huge that you don't even know it. You can't even begin to fathom them. And some of the eroding I've seen on them tells me that they're, if not hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of years old. Oh yes, medical knowledge, welly superior. Caesar, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Thor Odinson. Their medical knowledge, welly superior. Am I the only one cheering for Antarctica to melt? I like it. Boy, if they do, if it does or when it does, they ain't gonna show us. Gravity was different back in the day. It allowed for bigger people. Interesting. Think it could have shifted maybe when that asteroid below Antarctica hit. Past civilization resets. Interesting. Like the flood. Yes, they do. Oh, okay. So yeah, as far as this photo goes, this is Jupiter, and this is the North Pole of Jupiter. It has an electrical storm / anomaly going on. But notice this, guys, how it comes to spirals out, and then it has an end right here. See that? Pretty interesting. I'm not a believer in flat Earth, but I'm not a disbeliever either. I hope not, Amber. I'm not going to say, I don't discount flat Earth, because nobody knows for sure, really. Just like nobody knows hollow Earth for sure. I mean, I think hollow Earth can be pretty much set in stone for me. But as far as the canals, I wanted to show you guys something too. But I'll do the other planets first. Hold on. I wanted to show you guys Saturn. Look at the North Pole on Saturn. And it's like that the whole way around. It's a hexagon shape. Perfect hexagon. How weird is that? How weird is that? I believe that absolutely it could be cups. I like that theory, and I've thought that theory myself. Absolutely. Unified physics. I'm going to check that out. I wanted to write that down because I love finding info, validating stuff. And, yeah. Hold up. I got to find a pen here. Real quick, y'all. But, yeah, check out Saturn. That picture that you see right there is Saturn. And just riddle me how their pole has a perfect hexagon and I'll kiss your butt, because if that's not man-made right there, or higher being made right there, I don't know what is. I think it had to have been some sort of massive possible entrance or something along those lines to somewhere. Could be, maybe. Why does everybody steal my pens? Everybody likes to steal my pens. Alright, I'm back. I found one. Check this pen out, y'all. Sorry, guys. This pen was actually from a survivor pack that I bought off Amazon for smashing out windows, just in case you get in a car wreck and fall in the water. Pretty cool. It's kind of big, but so yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think of this? Isn't that weird? What? Nuh-uh. Cup said in the lost books of the Bible, which would be maybe the book of Enoch. I saw that, Patrick James, bro. I did read a little bit about that. Interesting. In the lost books of the Bible, the Apocrypha, Adam and Eve crawled through a cave out into a barren land. Interesting. On the Earth-sized sphere that was drawing plasma from the sun before zipping away. Yeah, I'm into politics, but I don't talk them on my lives. The simulation thing, I think some things could be simulated, but I don't know. I don't think everything is. But yeah, I know the Book of Enoch. It's like, I don't have time to read it, but I pretty much have a gist of what it's about just from all the videos. Like, instead of reading, just show me a video and I'll take notes, and I'll be just as well off and not have to waste the hours and hours of reading. I read journal articles online. Don't get me wrong. I read articles online and all that, but I can't stand reading the whole 1,000-page books. Name a car for an edit. Can I name a car? Ford Raptor off-road version. It did start with the Atlanteans, Lemurians, and Anunnaki, absolutely. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the Anunnaki are not all bad. There are many versions of the Anunnaki, namely the Syrian Anunnaki and the Draconian Anunnaki. The Draconians are the ones that want to take over everything. But yeah, to me Saturn looks like it's of grand design. Like that pole, that North Pole right there looks like it's of grand design. And it could be an entrance to something. Okay? Here's Neptune. Neptune's crazy looking. What I notice about all these, you guys, it comes to a point. All of this comes to a focal point. Every pole, or every planet, it comes to a focal point on the top and on the bottom, which is odd, you know. I many times I believe that, Caesar. And then what's this massive anomaly right here going around in circles? Interesting, huh? So all the planets have a north-south pole that looks like they could have a focal point or an entrance. Here's Venus. One's the north, one's the south. I mean, these are totally hollow. This is where this guy claimed to be from, inner Venus. Look at that. Entrance. One's south, one's north. Those are entrances, guys. And it seems to always be at the poles. So, I don't know. I like to think, hey, there's definitely some Middle Earths going on on many planets, not just ours. What makes our planet special? Nothing. At the end of the day, I mean, if there's other planets out there, there's a very, very high possibility, especially if the hollow Earths were created and not formed that way. They all were done by higher alien life. Yes, I believe planets are living as well. What did he say? Study the root words. Venus is... Okay. No, there's a sun. There's a sun in every core or every Middle Earth. Unless it's no longer inhabited, there's a sun. Absolutely. In ancient script, they call it the sphere of Amenti. Okay, the sphere of Amenti. Now, I've heard different theories and things. Supposedly, inside this sphere, there is a vast amount of mana, almost like a video game, but I don't know exactly what the mana is consisting of, but it's an energy force, an energy form. So many people believe that the sphere of Amenti is the Earth's power and inner Earth's energy, the energy that all living things on Earth is sustained by. You know, because obviously we're not plugged in, what have you. So, it's theory that the sphere of Amenti is also, or at least the father to the Ark of the Covenant, or the mother, whatever you want to call it. Many people believe that the Ark of the Covenant was derived from basically the sun in hollow Earth. and also the blue flame staff that Moses used to part the Red Sea was also blessed with this energy. I just read it somewhere. I'm not saying it's true. Subject to scrutiny. To me, though, stuff like that is validating, not necessarily just a big old folklore. Okay, hold on here. I want to find the pictures about the canals again, real quick, and I want to show you these pictures I found online. And so here's one of them. This was drawn up in 1896, right? Yeah. By an astronomer who they just now at that time got telescopes powerful enough to see the surface of Mars, okay? And especially if it was when it was close enough to. In a certain portion of its orbit, it would become close enough to see Earth, okay? Or Mars. And this is what was derived and drawn by multiple astronomers. And it is said that they all lead to the poles, and they are all canals. You can no longer see it today because usually it's too foggy or smoggy to see it. So astronomers today can't see them. But, yeah, this was drawn by an astronomer. This was drawn by a separate astronomer. And also, I'd like you guys to take a little second and notice something. A little circle up there representing what? A hole. Probably to Middle Earth. It could all be CGI. You're right. But I doubt it. And this one right here is from the U.S. Air Force in the 1960s. Same concept of canals right here. So whatever civilization was here, and I believe that this time it was nuclear war because it's the red planet. A nuclear war once again evaporated their oceans. So it created a nuclear winter and then glacial period. In order to get water over the entirety of the planet, they had to create canals all over a vast network of them. And that's how they made it. That's how they lived. So that's really where I got the canal idea when I read about this. It blew my mind, and you can look it up. Pre-1800s or early 1900s theories on the canals about Mars, and this will come up. And it's very interesting stuff. Whether it's all truly 100% true or not, I don't know. Seems pretty legit to me when multiple astronomers are drawing the same exact patterns and designs from Mars. It seems credible that way. So, it's always your choice, though, what you want to believe, guys. I'm never trying to force anything on you. I'll love you either way. And if you have a better theory or a different theory, I'll listen to it either way. I thought this was interesting. This was right next to Mars's North Pole. Looks like a whatever you want to call it. Looks pretty real to me. It's funny. And I've seen a lot more than that on Mars, but I don't want to scare anybody. Lots of good stuff on Mars. They can't just degrade every image. But no, hollow Earths all over the place. Yes, absolutely. Venetians supposedly look just like us. And Tesla, in fact, did. But I actually have a pretty good story coming up here soon. I think it's going to be my next story, okay? My next story is going to be about a single giant that was said to roam the entirety of the earth. And this giant had a particular name, but he was so tall that the whole earth was his playground, and he knew every corner of it. So, that being said, I did a study and found this article not a study, but I found this article and I did some research on there was a team of college students that was doing some exploring of the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, how he's from Venus. Yeah. And they sent down a little, like water, like a little, it looked like a little rocket, but it was a submergible. They call them underwater drones, okay? An underwater drone. But what this underwater drone would do was it would swim the entirety of the ocean floor, scanning it with some sort of sound. What up, Jay? How you doing, bro? With some sort of sound recognition or sound radar. Just pinging, basically. It ping off the bottom of the ocean. As it was doing this, they came upon an anomaly, and not just one of them, many of them, right in a row, in sets of in two of them, not four, not four-legged, but two. This anomaly had it was a footprint that was 7 feet long and over 4 feet wide, 3.5 to 4 feet wide. And they continued to follow it, and they counted over 3,500 steps. Now, mind you, this is 2.4 miles deep into the ocean floor. 2.4 miles, y'all. So whatever it wasn't walking while the oceans had water. Let's put it that way. And if it was, wow, that's crazy. But I don't know how he does it. I guess if you were that big, though, you could probably swim 2.4 miles in some pretty easy time. But I can't imagine you just walking on the ocean floor with no type of breathing or scuba gear or anything, you know. So I got a nice bit of information about that giant, who he is, what he's about. And you guys always know, yep, it's sonar. Thank you. What you talking about, Willis? Always remember that it is for entertainment purposes. I share the lore and the stories, and you guys decide whether you believe them or not. I believe a lot of it. 95% of it, but doesn't mean you have to. I'm not saying that. So, but yeah, this giant was all over the earth, and it had taken 3,500 steps, is what they found. Okay. Well, they showed these. I couldn't find these steps on Google Earth, right? But the other day, I probably don't even have them saved. No. The other day, I was looking at Google Earth, like always. Let me see here. Is that it? Let me see. No, dang it. This is where some of the canals converge to. See the little lines? Like, see, like, they all come right to here. I noticed that a lot of the places that the canals converged to had a basin. Like basin meaning like they created lakes with them, which I thought was very interesting. Atari gang, what's up? Basically, and if you think about it, if they were running massive canals, they would create lakes all over. They'd dig them out, man-made, and let big pools of water sit there at all times that they could just release and let go to the people or whatever. Irrigation, growing, crops, farming, etc. I thought this was a really peculiar image. If I zoomed in on it, very freaky looking thing. See the tail? They had many idols back then. They basically drew every living creature you can think of. I wish I would have took a picture of it. Oh, there's some more of the lines, though. I'm not seeing. Yeah, there's some more. See, they come up to this basin. See the lines? Those could be glacial runoff. Hard to say on them, but this one was pretty defined. You can usually tell they're definitive, but fingerling-like structure. Yeah, you can go around Google Earth and scour it live all day long and find all kinds of cool stuff. It's too bad I couldn't put it behind me live. Kamusta. What's that mean? Uncle Cliff, he's doing pretty good. He decided not to even mess with my claimed cure, which was sad, but it's his life. I couldn't convince him. He's, it's not good. He's withering away pretty quick. Part of me feels like he might bounce back, though. I don't know why. There's another canal. Here's a massive amount of them up top. Oh, there's our snakes. Yeah, I found a number of snake anomalies on the Google Earth floor. I mean, that's definitely a snake, yo. Like, this one was weird, I thought. That kind of looks like it has, but I'm not going to say. I'm just seeing if I can stumble across anything cool. I've seen some pretty gnarly stuff on here. See, like right here, like, see where it goes up? Now look at this elaborate network of stuff right here. And then it looks like a wall of some sort. Slid down. Maybe a tank or a pump. The society that was doing this, man, they were all together as advanced as we are, if not more so. I'd say more so. By quite a long ways, to be honest. Not sure what am I looking at over here. Yeah, more of the lines. But if you guys look around these lines, I mean, look at these grand designs out here that are not, like, this is a city. A little city right there with streets and all that. There's a city up close again. Yeah, so I don't care what you're talking about, Willis. That's a stealth ship, bro. I'm telling you. There's those pipes. I can't believe people were spotting the giant looking thing. I can't believe people were spotting him. Pretty cool. I'm glad you guys are seeing it. Y'all got the eye. Ain't always buying what they're feeding you. Yeah. That is that on those. So, did anybody else know that Uranus is actually tilted completely parallel and sideways? I had no idea about that. The north and south poles are here at each end. I never knew that. Bro, those lines are legitimately canals. I know they are. What you talk about, Willis line, laughing at me. I know, everybody Uranus, get it out. One of my teachers in school would call it Uranus. Funny. Believe what now? Lazarus? I had a buddy named Lazaroff. So Venus is the... Oh, thank you so much, Fat. Bandit. No, like that, like that rolls the other way. Like, so, yeah. We rotate counterclockwise, right? I don't know, that's terrible. Most planets rotate counterclockwise, right? Not clockwise? Young empath? That's who you are, Lucas? What's that, buddy? Randy? I'm hearing you. Yeah, it would make it an east-west pole. on my Mars theory. I'm curious. I love all theories. Hey, that's cool, bro. I can dig it. Lazarus, I urge you to do, honest to God, Lazarus, I urge you to do a little research on your own. It's so much nicer when you can deduce all the information and deduce that it actually is true to yourself. So, yeah, basically, the megalithic steps by Japan or Indonesia. It's at Indonesia. It's Japan. That was one of the biggest temples or whatever ever found. All underwater. Yeah, the giant steps. They were 10 foot tall and they sank 10 foot back or 20 foot back. The dragon theory. I've never heard that. I'm gonna look that up though. If you guys go way back in my archives on my TikTok, I have an awesome video of a dragon getting caught on camera in Texas. Titan S. Carter, I agree, she says. Oh, the meteor? Absolutely. Oh, dude, yeah, I shared that forever ago. That anti-social or whatever. I shared that forever ago, bro. Of course, I didn't get no love on it. But, yeah, that was in Greenland. He was diving in a sub. And, yeah, dude, that's probably... So that single film there alone, that's all I needed for the verification of mermaids. No question. That was real. It was not fake. That clip was 100% authentic to me. Could it be fake? It always can be fake, but that one, man, that's a good job right there if they did. I really think so. It's real. Luna Universe. Hey, I appreciate that, Lazarus. Hey, I get you, bro. Everybody does want more proof. Hey, I want more proof. I'd love to see some physical evidence of hollow earth or, but unfortunately in our world, a lot of times you gotta have a lot of faith in witness testimony. Unfortunately. Because people do lie, but in the same note, a lot of times when people are telling these outlandish stories, they're at risk of making themselves look a certain way, okay? So we always got to take that into consideration. They're at risk of making themselves look like a total quack. And I just don't see a lot of people coming out and saying stuff that would do that. So... yeah, add my YouTube up, guys. Like I always say, any gifters, I always follow my gifters after the live. I'll even probably watch a couple of your videos. My YouTube, anything at Night God 333. Just always search at Night God 333 from I only rock Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And guys, if you would, add my backup account. Just because. Add my backup account at Night God with 4 3s. 4 3s. So it's Night God 3333. Yeah, 4 3s. And then my original OG account, this one here, is just with 3 3s. So. Well, nobody just came up with it. Yeah, Admiral Byrd and Admiral Byrd more than once went to Hollow Earth. I actually heard about that. The other planet crashing into Earth is in the Acadians. Interesting. I heard about that. I actually read a little tidbit about it the other day. It could be true. Very well could be true. Do they theorize it could be Nibiru, I imagine? They believe that Nibiru, there was a planet known as Tiamat that was in between us and Mars. Tiamat was in between... in between Mars and Jupiter, maybe. Wherever the asteroid belt is. Basically, they got into an all-out battle with the Draconians in Nibiru because the Anunnaki Draconians are inherently fighters. They love to fight. They like to pillage, rob, and plunder. So that's what they do. Hey, I got 10 in my live on YouTube. That's what's up. That's like a record. What up, Jacob of Ephraim? How you doing, buddy? Good to see ya. This guy's a G. He knows his shit. Haha. So this guy's Jacob of Ephraim. He's also on YouTube. He's busy living a normal life, not like my weirdo self. So he doesn't post a lot, but he's very knowledgeable. He said all planets should be spinning clockwise according to all kinds of physics, but we do in fact spin counterclockwise. And he said this is because of the moon. And then he also adds, which the Anunnaki placed there on purpose. So, yeah. So, somebody said Venus spins the other way, so they must be spinning clockwise? Okay. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Kiki Dow. I appreciate you doing that for me. Has anyone else noticed how big Jupiter looked? It's getting larger every month. What do you got to say on that one there, Jake? Jacob of Ephraim is a big time planet guy. He loves solar weather. He was talking a little bit about the anomaly that was supposedly near the sun recently. I'm not even sure if he's still on anymore. I haven't looked at the messages on here in quite some time. But, yeah. So, I know Jay Creepa 978 knows his stuff too. He's knowledgeable as well. I'm sure you all are to an extent. I'm not trying to. But, yeah. I need to look a little more into the anomaly, that spherical anomaly. It's slowly moving Jake says it's slowly moving further away. Do you believe it's ran by ETs, Jake, and is it drawing energy off the sun to move or fly further away or make a trip? Or are they moving throughout the whole galaxy? Let's see what he says. I don't follow the planet stuff as close. I like reading about theories and lore and bull, but I should pay more attention. He said it's been here for 6 weeks, that anomaly. Yeah, I do remember you sending me a picture weeks ago of that. I remember that. I didn't realize it's been hanging out there for that long. Huh. So I have read a theory, Epic of Gilgamesh. You know, I've read a little bit of that. I was actually thinking about doing some Solomon's Mines stuff. King Solomon's Mines. Oh yes, the rabbit hole is a very fun place. My theory, Milky Way colliding another galaxy causes great divulge, flood stories, and Andromeda next. That actually just reminded me of something, Larry. But I like that. Andromeda next. That actually just reminded me of something. Oops, shit. Nope. Hold on. Right here. I was looking. I found an atlas the other day at my grandmother's house that my grandfather owned. It was published in early, just right on the money, 1990. Okay. But a lot of the atlas and the drawings were the maps. The sources for the maps were back in the 1960s. So they had a little different theories and stuff back then. I found them to be highly interesting. They claimed that this was what the Earth looked like first, even before Pangea. Gondwana land. I just couldn't believe it. I've never heard of such shit. Gondwana land. Siberia. Baltica, and then oh shoot, I'll have to get the atlas. But this basically ends up being Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. Siberia ends up being Asia. This ends up being Baltica, ends up being Europe, and this one, Laurentius or something. It reminded me of Lemuria in a way. Ended up being the Americas, the North and South Americas. I just had never heard of this. And then they said that this is pre-Pangea. I'd never heard of such stuff. Gondwanaland. Pucker your youpers. Our poopers. Nemesis. Interesting. So that'd be the Fallen, right? Or, yeah. The Fallen or the Anunnaki. Yeah, take a look at this map. This is really weird. I never said I was flat Earth, bro. I never said we were flat Earth. No. Jake, you don't believe in flat Earth. No way. Hold on here. Just gonna find that atlas. Oh, right here. Shit, it was right next to me. Check this out. It's really old. Well, at least old to some. 90s isn't that old. To you young kids, it might be. So then it goes to Pangea next. Here, I'll show you Pangea. Actually, I have pictures on my phone. And it says Pangea is this. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. Laurasia. I'm not sure how much truth it holds, but wow, how weird, right? They call the ocean Iapetus. And there's Pangea. And then they still had Gondwanaland. And then Laurasia. This is just back in the 60s. Very interesting, I thought. I never learned any of this in school. And did any of you guys? I never learned this theory at all in school. I heard about Pangea, but never learned this. This is supposedly pre-Pangea, and then the continental drift started. And I didn't realize that the continental drift is actually a theory is a theory that's just as new as the 60s. The continental drift theory was derived in the 60s, and it's the most widely accepted theory today, which is that the continents are always drifting. That the Earth's inner layer, the crust of the Earth just under us, is molten and possibly it's lubricant. Basically it's lubricated, and it basically, our crust shifts constantly. I don't know. It's hard to believe to me. Kind of crazy to think about, but could be true. Oh, Egypt definitely knew the UFOs were here. Sure. What? Is 3:50 a.m. a bad upload time? Yeah. A lot of times TikTok won't even let me, if I post, it'll let me post, but they won't even throw they're like, dude, quit being an idiot, because I constantly post it at past midnight and it's like a bad time to post. So a lot of times they won't even throw it on the For You page. They'll just hold it. Then I private it and release it tomorrow. The best times to post are, regardless of what day. Obviously, some of the best days to post are like Thursdays, Fridays, and then Saturdays because everybody's home. Maybe Sunday during the day. But the best times to post, depending on your content, obviously, like my content with the aliens, the folklore, and the theories and stuff, anywhere from 8 o'clock at night to 9 o'clock to midnight is my best time to post. Okay, I can dig that. Hey, I just like the shirts, guys. I just like the theory in the shirts. So, about that giant I was talking to you guys about earlier, the one that roamed the earth, the entirety of it, he was supposedly the ruler of all giants. It is said that his descendants were still here as late as not very long ago. And that native tribes that were here actually kept a small group of red-headed, bearded giants hostage. Or not hostage, but like kept them caged and then would like release them and like kind of like animals, you know? Well, that was always folklore until recently they found these catacombs underground and remains of giants in there. So I'm going to do a little story on that. I think it's really cool. And I also, on Google Earth, I was looking around one day and I found more footprints, I'm like 90% sure of it, of the giant that they speak of, which is crazy to me to think about. They found that one of the footprints over in the Pacific Ocean, and I swear I found more of them just off of East Africa, right around the Red Sea, at the mouth of it, and then down the coastline south. I swear I found more giant footprints, but I'm going to look at them a little closer and make sure first. It's hard to tell, but never for sure know. But thank you guys for coming out tonight to my live. I'm going to keep trying to hit it at 11 o'clock every night, 11 to midnight. I'll put it in my bio from now on, you guys. If I say I'm going to go live, I'm going to put it in my bio what time. So keep an eye on that. And I appreciate every one of you for showing up here tonight. It really means a lot to me. I'm really trying to make something out of this. I love doing this. I love it. It's definitely what I do want to do for a living, if I could. I'm going to keep trying, keep trucking, but it takes a while. It's a grind, but you guys make it happen, so couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much for checking me out, having faith, and enjoying my content. It really means a lot to me. So, yeah, I'm going to keep sticking it out and see what happens, and keep posting. So, like I say, if you ever see me for some reason get knocked off, message TikTok and tell them that you missed my content and they should reinstate me. That's all. Make sure you tell them that. So, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna call it to a night. I need some rest and stuff and some ice cream with some peanut butter and chocolate on it. So, thank you so much for the gifts going out, guys, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. I'm gonna start trying to really do this every night. So, thank you guys. Love you. Stay in the light. Stay positive. Stay happy. And be blessed. See you later.